Hello, hello, hello. It is the Queer and Confused Crafter. Um, Sorry I've been gone for so long. I've been busy doing wedding planning, and then I ran out of glue, so I couldn't film. But yeah, today we're going to be making a junk journal cover. I have an old box. Somebody gave me this box. I don't actually have kids, but I'm using this one instead of a cereal box like I normally would because this is nice and thick, and this is going to be a Christmas present for my sister. The journal we're going to be making today. All right, let's get into it. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find where the box kind of comes apart at and pull it apart. This box is really well glued together. Oh my goodness. It doesn't matter that this isn't pretty, just make sure that this part doesn't get ripped, because we're going to cut away the part that I'm currently trying to work on. All right, now I'm going to cut what we just opened up off, just like so. Let me see about raising that up a bit more. You can see, we're just going to cut that off, put it in the trash. We don't need it anymore. Make sure that camera is still. And we're doing the same thing to the other side. We're just cutting out that little tab. We don't need that tab. All right. Next, we're going to measure out our papers that we're going to be using. This is my papers right here. Not all of them, obviously, but some of them. And it looks like we're working with, if we could hold the ruler the right way. Looks like we want to make this 9 inches by, let's say 6 inches. So 9 by 6. And personally, I like to line it up with the bottom. And I'm going to cut away the tabs at the bottom now, just like we did with the ones at the side. Try to stay and follow evenly, unlike I did, because you can see it's crooked. Okay, now we're going to hold this, make sure we got that even on the bottom. And it looks like we did not get it even on the bottom, so we're just going to fix that now. Line that up like so. Put this in recycling. And we're going to measure up. We're going to get our marker out. And we're going to measure up from the bottom. Line that up. Make sure it's not crooked. Wait, is that? I have no way. I don't listen. I can't do anything straight. I don't know when things are straight. I just do my best. Mark at 9. And in order to make sure I get things straight, I like to do little measurements throughout the whole thing, just to make sure I've got it just right, you know? So I make sure I get all the way across the top. Nine inches. And let's go all the way over here. Well, maybe not all the way over there. And 9 inches. Now we're going to line it up right at 9. Making sure we get even. And then we're just going to cut across. And I'm going to save this because I might make another junk journal out of the rest later. But yeah, we're just going to cut straight across that line. And I'm going to set that aside. And now we measure from this flap to here to get 6 inches. Which it looks like we have pretty close to 6 inches. We have 7 inches. Well, almost 7 inches. And we want to make sure we're getting next to the fold. So I'm just pushing that over like that to make sure I get in just the right places, making sure I'm not too far over. All right, now we just line that up. Line that up like that. And do the same thing to the other side. Which I actually think is small enough that I probably don't need to make as many marks, but I like to be safe. 6. 6 inches. 6 inches. 6 inches. And then we just want to line this up like so. I got a little crooked on that one, so I'm going to assume it's like this. And then we're just going to cut off the edges. I did not do very good on those edges. It's okay. It's all right. We can just fix that by going a little bit over and hoping that we don't go too far over. Nothing has to be perfect. Remember, the pursuit of perfection is a fool's errand. Be a little bit more careful on this side, though. Well, I'm going to be more careful. And you would be wise to be careful as well. And that's a little crooked. It's okay, because we're going to go in and even it out. Might be better, since this is such a thick box, I probably should have used a craft knife. Got recycling. All right. Now we're ready to start decorating the outside of this. Now, because this is, I can't think of the words. Oh, because this, I'm going to be using these napkins here to decorate the outside. But it's going to show through, because I'm using napkins, this will show through, so I had to put some other paper down. And I think that I can just cut this in half, and it should be good for each side. Or not. Huh. You know what? I have an idea. I forgot my idea. Wait, no, I remember my idea again. I'm going to take some plain, just printer paper, and gonna take 2 sheets, because apparently it's gonna need 2 sheets. That is 3. I do not need 3. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue it down like so, and then I'm gonna glue the purple over top of it. Put that there. So get out the handy dandy glue stick. I'm gonna Mod Podge over this. Glue stick, glue stick. I'm gonna Mod Podge over this so it sticks better. But for now, I'm just using the glue stick because I don't know. Maybe it's a good idea. Maybe it's not. Who knows? It's all about trial and error. Glue that down. Put some more glue. Get it all good and on there. Oh my gosh, I'm already out of this glue stick. I swear this is an expensive hobby because like I have to buy glue like every 2 weeks, I swear. When I have this new glue that I want to try out, I forget what it's called, but I will be using it. Ooh, that's not over far enough. But I will be using it throughout my junk journals from here on out until it runs out, that is. We're going to test it out. It was rated on Amazon, like 5 stars. So I was like, yeah, I'll try that. And it was actually pretty expensive. It's Barely Art. I haven't opened it up yet. Ah, Jesus. Yeah, and it comes in a little bottle like this. Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. I'm pretty sure it does paper and fabric, all that good stuff. Make sure that's stuck down. Okay, good. Okay, now I'm gonna bust open a new glue stick. Oh my god, I've already gone through. I just bought this pack 2 weeks ago. If not, I don't even think it was 2 weeks ago. I think it was like a week and a half ago, and I'm already down to the last glue stick. Maybe it was 2. I think it was 2 weeks. See, I have ADHD, so I have no sense of time. But I'm pretty sure it was like 2 weeks. Let's see. Okay, so we're gonna need quite a lot of glue on this. All the glue. All the glue. Probably should have just came in with a Mod Podge at first. Or Mod Pod. I don't know. I say it Mod Podge. I like saying Mod Podge. It's fun. Fight me. Make sure that's good and stuck. Do the same thing to the other side. I'm going to pull it kind of tight there. Just so it's not loose. Because we don't want it to be loose. That's a little crooked, but that's okay because it's going to be glued down this way, so no one's going to notice. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a small triangle right there. Just like that. About this size. And I'm going to do it again on each corner. I'm going to come to this corner later. That feels loose. But you don't want to cut too far over. You also don't want to cut not far enough over. And it's just kind of like a slit. It's just to facilitate it closing better. Okay, I'm going to trim some of this down on the sides. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this. I'm going to point this corner directly flush with this. So the corner needs to be right here. Right through here. The corner's right here. That's pointing there. Fold down. And we're going to just repeat the process with the other sides. So we're going to get all of this. And make sure to get this over here. And this over here as well. And we're going to glue down the corners. So get some glue. Gluing down those corners. I'm also putting glue on the paper part, not just the box part. Oh, dang. Almost dropped glue everywhere. Just folding in the corners. And now that we've got the corners folded, we're going to fold in the sides. So we're just going to glue all over the sides. And we're going to pull that real tight. And it's okay if it comes out a bit wrinkled because it's fine. It's going to be kind of covered, so as long as you don't wrinkle what's going to go right here, should be totally kosher. I'm probably going to mess it up and wrinkle it in here, but yeah. But hopefully not. Make sure to get the purple flaps too, because you don't want to miss out on those. And we're folding down everything that we pretty much just cut. And I'm trying to get it as close to the box as I possibly can so it doesn't wrinkle when I put the Mod Podge over it. I'm almost dropping the glue. I'm just clumsy today. I feel like I'm clumsy probably every day. I don't know. I have chaotic energy. And I have no idea what I'm doing, which is, why I'm the queer and confused crafter. But I feel like you guys enjoy, coming with me on this journey of potential mishaps and whatnot. It's okay to watch someone just see if they fail. I feel like that's my content. Is it going to be good? Is it going to be terrible? But it's okay. I just do this because I like doing it. Whether we do a good job or a bad job, we're having fun, and that's what matters. I'm having loads of fun. I love crafting. It'd be kind of weird if I didn't. Be actually super weird if I didn't, that I had this whole YouTube channel. And I didn't like crafting. It'd be really weird. It'd be like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this if you don't like crafting? Okay, now we flip it over. And we did it a little too loose on one side, but that's okay. Probably it's okay. I'll glue this down. All right. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we did it a little too loose on this side. So it's going to be a little weird when we get the Mod Podge going. Which, oh my goodness, did I not even turn on my ring light? There we go. I bet that's a lot better now. I need to go grab a pack. And we're just going to get out our Mod Podge. And we're going to go over this whole thing. And this is just the first layer. There's actually going to be a couple layers of Mod Podge because we're decoupaging this with a napkin. With the first layer, just put on real light. This is just kind of to keep everything sort of in place, So it doesn't have to be super intense or anything. I'm not going to put it on the spine yet because I need that to be fairly pliable so I can get the needle through. I'm, however, going to stick this under there, try and get some Mod Podge in there so I can seal it so it's not wanting to go down. I always end up doing it too loose on one side, and it irritates me. One day I'm going to figure out how to do it the right way on both sides. Now, when working with your napkin, make sure you remove one of the layers before you set it down. And I'm going to need 2 napkins for this, so I'm going to go ahead and prep the other napkin. I got these at Dollar Tree a while back ago. They're like the last ones they had. I was like, these are so pretty. And the journal I'm making for my sister, it's purple themed. So it worked out well. All right, now this is where we heavily Mod Pod it, or Mod Podge it, however you say it. I don't know. Well, we don't heavily do it. We just do it enough to stay wet. That's what she said. We just do it enough to stay wet, so we can set the napkin on it. I like to do it section at a time. So I don't go too far over, or not over enough. Another reason why I try to put a good amount of Mod Podge on it is so that I can move it around if I need to. Because if you don't put enough Mod Podge, it'll just instantly stick to the side, and you won't be able to move it unless you tear the whole thing up, and it's a whole thing. Oh, motherfucker. You know what? It's okay, because we're going to have this on this side, so it'll also go over there, over that book. And also there's going to be fabric covering the spine. So it's good. It's all good. It's fine. This is fine. And then we're just going to set this over a bit more so no one knows that we messed up. Oh, and look, that matched up perfectly. Get under there so we make sure it glues down properly. Go over it. And there's a little exposed side, which I may do something to. I don't know. I might add a strip or something there. But I'm not going to put more napkins down. Now you'll notice that there's a little bit of hang off. We're going to tuck that in, and it'll be Gucci. Sometimes there's excess Mod Podge gets stuck in the sponge, so you kind of gotta tap it a little, get it all out, And we're gonna put it up like that. I'm gonna put something on the bottom of it so it doesn't fall over. Or I'm going to attempt to put something on it so it doesn't fall over. All right, we're gonna let this dry and then we'll come back to it. Hello and welcome back. It is dried now, and I ended up going back and covering that little white strip with just a piece of napkin that I cut up. Tried to match it the best I could. All right, our next step is going to be to fold this over on the inside. So, getting the Mod Podge back out. Oh goodness, did it glue to the... That's how you know you've used it well, if the lid glues to the jar. And I accidentally didn't move it far enough over on this underside here. So, that's fun. So I don't need it a terrible amount on here. And then we're just folding it up so it just covers the edge there. Which is sometimes a bit easier said than, done. So we got that folded in, and we're going to go in and do the same thing with the corners that we did earlier, which is to just tuck them. Now this corner is kind of wonky because it's not over far enough because I messed up. Guys. It happens. It happens to the best of us. I'm not the best of us, but it does happen to people that are better than I am. I'm going to do the same thing with the other corners. And I like to, when I'm rubbing it in, I like to add a little Mod Podge to the top of the corner. Just because it seals it, saves a step later. All right, now we're going to do the same thing along this bottom line. And I'm just kind of dabbing it on there. You don't need a whole lot because this is a napkin and it's thin. And then we're just folding up, folding up, folding up, folding up, folding up. And we ripped it there, but that's okay. So be gentle when using the napkin. Oh, that's where the napkin's overlaying. So we want to get that glued down. Put a little more Mod Podge in there. And you can also, like I'm doing here, take the edge of the sponge and go over it. Get it good and make sure it's good and stuck, And I am of the belief that you can't have too much Mod Podge on these things. Because I like my books hard. Just because I don't like a flimsy junk journal, And the Mod Podge definitely strengthens it. Yeah, if you don't want to get it on your fingers, definitely do what I'm doing and use the brush to kind of fold it over. And now that we've gotten that taken care of, we're going to work on gluing the middle. And I went ahead and pre-cut. I'm using some of the napkin where I cut off the edge of it to fill in that white spot to be the center here. You want to work pretty quickly with this stuff because it does dry pretty quick. And like I've said, I just like to do a thick layer. I'm going to fold it like this because I know I'm going to need to get it aligned with that bottom piece. And I'm just going to smooth it down. And I'm going to glue down the sides. But yeah, we're just gluing down the sides. And I'm smoothing it over. We're going to go over the whole middle of this. So we're just going to take a bit, go over the middle. Try to be delicate because this is a napkin and it's wet and it will tear very easily if you're not careful. Next, I'm going to put this piece here down. And looks like I didn't cut that quite right. So I'm going to cut that real quick. I thought I pre-cut these to be the right size. Apparently, I did not. Put those together so I can cut them at once. Get out the guillotine, which it's broken. My poor broken guillotine. And I'm cutting, I don't know how much the little line over is, but I'm cutting that much off. I think I cut that uneven. Perhaps. Let me try that again. Okay, that should be good. Now, let's see. How's that? That is much better. Okay. So now we're just gonna get it kind of thick on the cardboard part. We don't want it as thick on the paper parts. We don't want the paper to tear, or we want to be gentle at least. And I'm only going to take one piece instead of two like I was trying to do. And I'm going to line that up with the bottom so it doesn't show. And did I do that crooked? No, I didn't. Or did I? Well, it's too late to fix it. I missed a spot, though. Make sure, did I get everywhere? I missed a spot here, too. Always test it. Don't pull back too far, but test it and make sure you got all the corners and edges and everything. Now I'm going to do the same thing over here. Nice and thick. I think it's better to overglue than it is to underglue. So I'd much rather overglue this than underglue it. We're going to set this one down. And I got a little glue on the top, but it's okay. Did we miss a corner? No, we didn't miss a corner. Okay. We did miss a corner here, though. So let's get that fixed. And we missed a corner over here. And check that corner. Okay. Now, you're going to want to bend it because you want to make sure that it's going to close. Because the Mod Pod is going to make it very stiff. So I'm just clamping this. And I'm just going to clamp it in two places because it really doesn't need that many clamps. And we're going to let that dry. Well, while we're letting that dry, we're going to go ahead and add our next piece, which I decided to use this fabric I had here. That is just the right size. Make sure we got it even on both sides. Let's see, make sure that's in the middle. Yeah, that's in the middle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and clamp it on one side because we need to pull this tight. And we want to make sure that it's moving around a little. We want to make sure that we can pull it tight. And it looks like this is a little big for the book, but that's okay because we can just cut it after the fact. Yeah, we can just cut it and trim it down after the fact. You're going to want to pull forward pretty tightly because you want to make sure it's not going to go anywhere. And we're just clipping it on that one side. And now what we're doing is we're Mod Podding pretty heavy on the back. Getting it good and saturated. And then we're kind of pushing down real tight. And we're adhering it like so. Be careful because the inside is still wet. You don't want to touch it too much. Okay, now we've got it good and adhered. So we're going to take the clampies off. Bye-bye, clampies. And, let's see, do I want that or do I want this? I think I want this side as the front. And I decided I'm going to adhere these little flowers to it. And you can put whatever you want on these. These are just some little flowers I got from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to use some E6000 to put them on. Because I thought they'd be a really cute addition to the front. I just had to use my teeth to get that open. Oh my goodness. And I got glue where I didn't mean to get glue. And I'm pretty much just going to make a line of the E6000 going here. You can also use hot glue. Fabrifix would probably also work. But I'm using E6000 because I don't want to experiment with my brand new glue quite yet. And I'm just sticking that down. Apparently I'm going to have to go back through and stick some of these down. That needs to come off. Make sure these are flat, or at least relatively flat when you're adhering them. Okay, apparently these need to be separately glued. I'm just going to dip it in the E6000 that's already there and stick it on. Push that down. Pull E6000 on that, which I'm running very low on. I need to get more. I love E6000. It's like the ultimate glue. It glues anything to anything. Metal to wood, wood to wood. Well, not so much wood to wood, but metal to wood, metal to metal, fabric to fabric, fabric to paper. Or at least in theory it does. I actually haven't tried it with fabric yet, so this is an experiment for both of us. Really, I just didn't want to use my really expensive fancy glue to try and do this project right this second. And yeah, this is our junk journal cover. And you can decorate these any way you want. You could add beads to the side, lace. I know I'm going to have a ribbon tied around the outside of this instead of the inside. I mean, on the outside, instead of being connected to something, it's just going to be, or I may connect it. I may connect it when I do the seam binding. But yeah, this is a cover. Please like, subscribe, and share. Watch out for part 2, where we're going to do the seam binding, or is it called seam binding? We're going to sew in the signatures. Yeah, stay part for part 2. We're going to sew in the signatures, and stay chaotic, you guys.